Welcome back, Cubs. Direwolf here. And today is Memorial Day weekend, which is not just a day off of work and school, not just a day for barbecues and fun with family and friends. Though it is for those things also, it's also a day to reflect on those who paid the ultimate price for our freedom and our way of life. This doesn't mean you need to walk around sad all day. Take advantage of the freedom that they fought for. Please have fun with your family and friends and have a beer, and when you do, please toast in respect to those whose sacrifice makes it all possible. And if you have a veteran cemetery nearby, and if you have kids, I might consider bringing the kids by and showing them what the cost of freedom is. Not for them to be sad, but for them to understand that freedom is not a guarantee, and that it requires that every generation fights to maintain it. In honor of this day, and my fallen brothers, I'm going to read you some stories of some Medal of Honor recipients who made the ultimate sacrifice and gave their lives for their country, its people, and their families. Jason Dunham, born 1981, died 2004, was a corporal in the United States Marine Corps, who served with the 4th Platoon, Company K, 3rd Battalion, 7th Marine Regiment. While fighting alongside his unit in Iraq, an enemy soldier threw a grenade that landed next to him. Rather than allowing the grenade to explode and kill or injure not only himself but several other Marines in the area, he sacrificed himself and dove on top of the grenade. When it exploded, Dunham was seriously injured and died 8 days later. His actions directly saved the lives of several other Marines and led to him being awarded the very first Medal of Honor in combat actions in Iraq and the first Medal of Honor awarded to a Marine since Vietnam. Raise your glass to Jason Dunham, an American hero. Next up is Michael Anthony Mansour, born 5 April 1981 and died September 29, 2006. He was a U.S. Navy SEAL killed during the Iraq War and posthumously received the Medal of Honor. Mansour enlisted in the United States Navy in 2001 and graduated basic training in demolitions and SEAL training in 2004. After further training, he was assigned to Delta Platoon, SEAL Team 3. Delta Platoon was sent to Iraq in April 2006 and was assigned to train Iraqi Army soldiers in Ramadi. Over the next 5 months, Mansour and his platoon frequently engaged in combat with insurgent forces. On September 29, 2006, an insurgent threw a grenade on top of a rooftop where Mansour and several other SEAL and Iraqi soldiers were positioned. Mansour quickly smothered the grenade with his body, absorbing the resulting explosion and saving his comrades from serious injury or death. Mansour died 30 minutes later from his serious wounds caused by the grenade explosion. President Bush presented the medal to Mansour's parents on April 8, 2008. They also named a Navy destroyer in his honor. Here's to you, Sergeant Mansour. You exemplify service before self. And then there was Michael Patrick Murphy, born 7 May 1979 and died June 28, 2005. He was also a United States Navy SEAL who was awarded the United States military's highest decoration, the Medal of Honor, for his actions in 2005 during the war in Afghanistan, and was the first member of the U.S. Navy to receive this award since the Vietnam War. Murphy was sent on several missions while participating in the global war on terrorism, and was killed on June 28, 2005, after his team was compromised and surrounded by Taliban forces in Asadabad, Afghanistan. In addition to the Medal of Honor, Murphy received other awards including the Silver Star, a Purple Heart, and since his death, the United States Navy destroyer, a post office, and a park have been named after him in his honor. Despite being outmaneuvered, badly outmanned, and outgunned, he and his team refused to surrender and fought to the last man. If you want to know more about the heroic story of Michael Murphy and his team, I suggest you watch the movie The Lone Survivor. Here's to you, Michael Patrick Murphy. Next is Jared Christopher Monty, born 20 September 1975 and died 21 June 2006. He was a soldier in the United States Army, and he received his Medal of Honor for an extreme, selfless act of bravery in combat actions in Afghanistan. Monty was deployed with his unit when they were attacked by a group of insurgents. When another soldier was wounded, Monty left cover and exposed himself to enemy fire in an attempt to rescue the soldier, and was killed in action. He was the 6th person in the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan to receive the Medal of Honor. Here's to you, Jared Monty. Cheers. Next is Paul Ray Smith, born 24 September 1969 and died 4 April 2003. He was a United States Army Sergeant First Class, and he received his Medal of Honor for his actions in Operation Iraqi Freedom. While serving with B Company, 11th Engineer Battalion, 3rd Infantry Division, Baghdad, Iraq, his team was attacked by a group of Iraqi fighters. After a short firefight, he was killed by Iraqi fire. For his actions during this short but very intense firefight, he was recommended for and approved for the Medal of Honor. During the firefight, his team was pinned down and receiving casualties inside of a compound, receiving fire from multiple angles. With their vehicles destroyed, they had to retreat on foot, but without cover, it was a suicide mission. It was at this time that Sergeant Smith went into the open and took the 50 cal attached to an abandoned vehicle and provided suppressing fire to 100 enemy combatants at 3 different locations and allowed his team to retreat without him. By choosing to stay behind and give covering fire so his team could retreat, he knew he was giving up his life to allow his men to get away to fight another day. Here's to you, Sergeant Paul Smith. His actions saved the lives of at least 50 American soldiers. And then there was Ross Andrew McGinnis, born 14 June 1987 and died 4 December 2006. He was a soldier in the United States Army, serving in the Iraq War. While serving as a gunner on a Humvee, his convoy was attacked and a hand grenade was thrown into his vehicle. He immediately threw his body on top of the hand grenade and was killed in the resultant explosion, but saved the life of the other 3 soldiers in the vehicle. Here's to you, Ross McGinnis. And then there's Robert James Miller, born 14 October 1983 and died 25 January 2008. He was in Company A, 3rd Battalion, 3rd Special Forces Group Airborne of the United States Army Special Forces. On January 25, 2008, Sergeant Miller found himself willingly leading a team of Afghan National Security Forces and coalition soldiers during a combat reconnaissance patrol in Kunar Province near the Pakistan border. Insurgents hiding in a structure attacked Miller's team. A fellow teammate called for close air support and dropped ordnance on the insurgent position, disrupting the attack. After the close air support bombing, when the combined patrol moved toward the structure to check for any remaining enemy threats, the insurgents again fired using heavy weapons. Miller's team captain was seriously wounded within the first few minutes of the attack. While his commander was being moved to safety, Miller returned fire. At great personal risk to himself, Miller remained at the front of the patrol and continued to lay down suppressive fire on multiple enemy positions, allowing his wounded commander to be pulled out of the line of fire, which ultimately saved the life of his commander. Miller's personal courage under intense enemy machine gun fire enables his entire patrol to gain cover and return fire. Even while very badly injured by direct enemy small arms and machine gun fire, Miller continued to return fire with his machine gun and throwing grenades to suppress enemy fire and protect his teammates. Here's to you, Sergeant Robert Miller. Death without fear, life without regret. And these are only a few of the countless stories of bravery that belong to our brothers and sisters in arms, our nation's sword and shield. And the sad fact is, many of the stories of bravery don't result in a Medal of Honor. In this last year, since last May, we've lost another 35 U.S. service members. I'm showing their names on the screen now. It is clear that Afghanistan remains the most dangerous battlefield in which the U.S. operates. Of the 19 service members and 1 Army civilians killed in combat-related incidents, 12 were supporting Operation Freedom Sentinel. The vast majority of our soldiers still in theater are not in direct combat roles. They are in a support role, supporting and training the Afghani and Iraqi armies, so that those armies can become self-sufficient. But part of this support means we have soldiers that are embedded in their army units, which means we still have soldiers that are in harm's way. For any American soldiers, airmen, or seamen that are watching this video, I know that Memorial Day is not for you, it's for the fallen, but regardless, thank you for your service. Direwolf salutes you. If you want to hear Direwolf and Friends streaming live semi-daily on political and social commentary, as well as playing games like Quiplash and Drawful, please check out the YouTube channel Direwolf Radio, which is linked in the description of this video.